Hi, my name is Amber Gagliardi and I'm back with another take and make. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Snowflake Pillow, which I have right here. So take a look at it. We did give everybody a little bit different things, so every kit just slightly varies, but you have the same amount of materials. So everyone got a blue pillowcase. One is this color blue and the other one is more of a teal. If you got that pillowcase, you got the glitter snowflake with it that is silver. And if you got this color, you got the gold one. So I thought those looked best, so that's how I arranged it. So every pillow is slightly different, but they all match well and should go with most decor. You also got some stuffing in your kit. This is the polyfill. You definitely didn't get enough to do a whole big 12 by 12 pillow like this, but what I was thinking is you could upcycle a pillow that is just kind of old in your house. They get worn out, so it's a good time to kind of switch some things over. If you don't have anything like that, you could go out and buy some polyfill. I've seen these at all craft stores close by, so you could definitely do that. Or you could use like old fabric scrap. So there's lots of ways to stuff it. This does have a zipper, so you can change it out and reuse it after. And this is good to just kind of stuff your corners, and I just kind of wanted you to see what this looks like if you've never made a pillow before. So that's what came in your kit. So you got the pillowcase, you got the polyfill, and then you got this iron-on. So these iron-ons were created on our Cricut machine here. If you've been to some of the other classes I've had, you've seen our Cricut machine, or you've probably gotten another take and make kit with this in it before, something that we've cut here. If this is your first time, then I'm gonna go through it all with you. This is an iron-on. So what you're gonna wanna do is look at the directions I gave you so you can see the pattern. So you'll kind of use this to make sure you remove everything that you need to remove. So the term that we use is called weeding, and that just means to get rid of the negative pieces you don't want. So you'll want to keep just the snowflake intact, and then you'll put this on the pillow, which I'll be showing you, but you're going to want to remove all these spaces in between. So that's where the pattern comes in. Just kind of take a look. You can definitely see the cut, but it can be hard to see. So you're going to want to go somewhere with a lot of light. We also have a light pad in our library things collection. So if you're having a hard time seeing the pattern, you could borrow that. And what that does, the light pad, is it puts light under the iron-on. You can also use that for vinyl, so you can like see where the lines are. But they are there. You just gotta look. So there's a shiny side, and then there's like a flat side, if you will, in terms of color. What you're gonna do is flip it so the shiny side is down on your table. You have the flat side here. That's how I cut it. So whenever you're cutting with iron-on the Cricut machine, if you have a machine at home, you always put the liner side down. So I'm calling it shiny. The term that Cricut will use is liner, and the liner is on the top. So you'll put it down like this, and you'll get to start weeding. So you will need some kind of weeding tool. This is made by Cricut. It's great. They are about $5. You can find them at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's. They all have Cricut sections now. It's so popular. So this weeding tool, it kind of looks like something you might find at like the dentist, but it's great for this purpose. So you will need this. If you do not have one, you're only going to do this project, you can use a paper clip, and that should work, or anything pointy, but not too pointy like a knife, because then you're going to cut into it. So what I would recommend is getting your sheet right out next to it. And what I always do is remove the outside first so I can see the design. So I'm going to use my tool, and I'm going to find an edge, and I'm just going to pull it. And just take your time with this. You're gonna feel a stickiness once you start going on this, and you just don't want to rip the design. So take your time. And I'm going to remove the entire outside of the snowflake. One thing you could do, I don't have it right now, but you could tape this down on your table just so it doesn't move. Not necessary, but this is agitating to you. You could certainly do that. So I'm just removing the outside. I'm gonna just grab a pair of scissors. One thing I like to do is kind of just cut it once I removed it, just so it's out of the way. And what happened here, if this happened to yours, it's okay, you can fix it, is it just didn't cut in one little spot from the Cricut machine. So I'm gonna save it just by using a pair of scissors and just cutting a nice straight line. So it's just a little piece that didn't cut that well. It happens once in a while. Just gonna move it along, and it just needs a little cut. And it will be fine. So I'm just one little spot didn't cut that well on from the machine. So I think it'll be all right. Okay, so you can start to see it starting to look like a snowflake. And now the ones that you got at home, I ran out of them, but they are glitter. So it's the same process. It's just that this is not glitter. This is still an iron-on made by Cricut. They make all different types of iron-on. They have glitter. They have just this kind of shiny pattern. They just have solid colors. They have patterns. So there's tons and tons of choices out there. I thought the glitter was very festive for the holidays and is sparkly, so I went with that one for you guys. But for my example, I'm just showing you on this silver color. But again, it's the same exact process. You'll just be seeing glitter on the back side. Okay, so you can see the pattern there. Now you're going to remove the middle, and I too am going to use it. So I'm going to do all the big snowflakes first. So I'm just going to move it around. And I'm just using the pick to, let me just turn it like this, remove them. You won't need the pieces you're removing, so you can just kind of throw them away, put them on your table as you move along, and then you can get rid of them after, whatever works best for you. So there's that one. Okay. All right, so you can see I did all those. Now I'm gonna go for the other smaller outside ones. A little bit thinner. Now either you're gonna find this weeding process to be very relaxing or very frustrating. I don't mind it. I like it, but if you have to do a lot of them, it can get very tedious. Now I do have like a dark color under here just so you're able to see, but it does make it a little bit more challenging because not a lot of light is coming through. So if you have a lighter surface, something not like over a dark tablecloth, it can be a little bit easier to do this. But again, I'm just using the patterns and I know what it looks like, so it's not too bad. Okay, I'm just moving along here. Okay, now what I encourage you to do is just keep finishing this. I know you'd have to watch me do the whole thing, but you can see how I'm moving along here. So keep going, and I'll be back with you in just a moment once I finish weeding, and I'll show you how to do the iron on. Okay, I am done weeding my entire snowflake. So it looks like this, and you can feel on this side that it has a stickiness to it. So that's gonna help you adhere it to the pillowcase. So what you need to do is you need to take your pillowcase and you wanna have your iron on so you can get it preheating. I have this heat press that I'm going to be using, but you absolutely do not need it. We do have a heat press. I'll show it to you right here. In the Library of Things collection. So it looks like this. It's big. So this is basically a large iron. What's nice about this and the benefit, there is a cost with it, so they are a little pricey, but they're big. So this is this is 12 by 12 or a little. I know it's 12 this way. It's bigger, so you can do your whole project at one time, where if you have a small iron at home, you're gonna have to do it in sections. If you're only making one, it's fine. It's only gonna take you a few minutes. It's no big deal. You'll want to make sure your steam is off on the iron, and you're gonna want to put it to the cotton section of it. So just turn the dial to cotton. That's what this pillowcase is made out of. And I do have the directions for an iron on the handout you got. So go ahead and take a look at that. You want to take out the wrinkles before you do this, because if it's not flat, you could have a bubble in your project, and that's not going to look that great. So I'm just taking this big iron and straightening it all out. Get this wrinkle out here. And same thing with an iron, you're gonna do the same process. Okay, so go ahead and put your iron on right in the middle of your project. If you want it to be very precise, you could always use a ruler and kind of just measure. This is exactly 12 by 12, so the actual cutout itself, so you can kind of go ahead and adjust it. Okay, I'm gonna iron it out. That looks good enough for me. And I'm gonna take my iron on, or my heat press, and it's on 330 for 30 seconds. And I'm gonna press this little button here. So if you take out our heat press, that's how it works. And you're just gonna put a pressure on it like this. For the 30 seconds. So you can see here, it has a nice dial. Let me just show you in case you ever want to take this out. And it's counting down by time. So that's kind of nice too. You don't need an additional timer. And then you're gonna flip it over and you're gonna do the back side. And I'm gonna do it for the same 30 seconds. One thing nice is on the Cricut website, you'll have to play around with it. I always just search for the guided times, and you can select, they have like a little database that they have. It's a drop down menu, but you can select what you're using, which is an iron-on, and then select the fabric, and then it tells you the exact time and temperature they recommend. So I looked that up before I got started. So that's a nice feature on Cricut that you can use. So it's the heat press guide, if I wasn't clear about that. And they recommend taking this off when it's still warm. So I'm just gonna give it just a few seconds to cool down. Shut off my heat press. And I'm gonna be removing it in just a second here. Okay, and then you just lift it up at an angle, nice and slow. And it peels right off. So you have your project, just like that. Now this is, it's really gonna last. It's meant to be permanent. So these do last a while. You can put them in the washer. That is allowed. If you can turn it inside out, it may help, just in case. Mine did have a little mark on it. I don't know if you can see it. You can barely see it. But after I did the heat press, it kind of re-adhered itself together. So that's kind of nice. So if you do mess up a little bit when you're doing the weeding process, when you do the iron-on, it does fix it a little bit. It's not perfect. There's a couple spots that I'm not completely happy about, but that's mainly because I cut this one last on the same needle I used to cut yours. So I can say with confidence that your edges are gonna be a lot nicer because the needle was fresh. But if you have a Cricut machine, it's really important that you do change that blade. I'm calling a needle, Cricut calls it a blade because it does get dull. And after you go through all that time and effort and money to buy these, it's really not great when your project gets a little ruined because you don't change your needle. So one thing I do is I keep like a little tally, because you forget how many projects you've done and what you've used. So I just keep like a little tally next to my Cricut machine on how many times I've used that needle, so I don't forget. Because when you cut it, it looks fine, and then you go to do your project and you kind of see that you probably shouldn't have changed your needle ahead of time because it didn't cut as nice. So if you see that's what's going on. So this is our project. I hope you enjoyed it. Iron-on is great. I know t-shirts are very popular right now. People like to do custom t-shirts for different events, and they're a lot of fun and a lot of fun for pictures. So this is great if you want to use our Cricut machine to make some t-shirts. You can even use the printable paper and then get out our heat press over here to then adhere a bunch of shirts you designed onto t-shirts. So the heat press is a good way just to quickly do that. So we have lots of stuff for you here at the Middle Country Public Library, so take advantage of those. I hope you enjoyed the project. As always, you can share your pictures with me. We do post them on social media with your permission, and you could be featured in our quarterly, which I know is always exciting to see the work you did in our catalog. So share your pictures if you want. My email address is always on the Take and Makes that I do. So I'm gagliardi.amber@mcplibrary.org. So you can do that as well. And I hope you enjoyed it. You can always give me feedback on upcoming projects you would like to see. I would love to hear from you. So I hope you had a great day. Thank you.